Hello and welcome to Magical Witchy World. I am Starr Ravenhawk.
And I am Rhonda Alin. Welcome back, everyone. Happy to
Yeah.
have you here with us tonight.
And tonight we are proud to welcome Erika Lieberman to the Magical Witchy World TV.
Here we are. Hold on one second.
Hello.
Welcome,
Welcome.
Erika. Thank you for joining us
Hi.
tonight.
Thank you for having me.
This
Absolutely,
is
absolutely.
exciting. So, as we do, we'd like to begin with first going through your bio so we can introduce you to everyone. So, I'm going to go
Okay.
ahead and get started. Erika has worked as a musician and composer for over 20 years. Her experience as a solo harpist, a member of various ensembles and folk bands, and her graduate studies in film scoring and music technology at New York University give her a diverse and rich musical background. Erika has worked as a music director for various theater companies and festivals in New York and New Jersey, and is a seasoned Renaissance Fair and folk festival performer. She also performs at weddings and private events. Erika can play in a variety of musical styles, but specializes in Celtic folk music, Renaissance early music, and film and video game scores. Erika's original compositions pull from all of those styles, along with her own unique touch that has been described as otherworldly. I love that.
Hey,
Erika strives to portray the human experience through music in a way that is authentic, raw, and emotive. She infuses her music with her love of storytelling and has an extensive costume wardrobe for an array of periods and styles, including medieval, Renaissance, fantasy, fairy, sci fi, Victorian, and more. Some past and present clients include the New York Renaissance Faire, Robin Hood's Springtime Medieval Fair, the Connecticut Renaissance Faire, the Midsummer Fantasy Renaissance Faire, the Maine Renaissance Faire, the Sparta Renaissance Faire, the Actors Shakespeare Company, A Night at Niblo's Garden by Bindlestiff Family Cirkus. That's the one. The annual Port Jefferson Dickens Festival, historic Hudson Valley, New England Botanic Garden, and Salem's Festival of the Dead. So, thank you again, Erika, for
yeah,
joining us. Really appreciate that.
yeah,
Thank you, Rhonda.
So
absolutely.
welcome.
Erika, did I not meet you? I thought I had met you at Witches Fest when I think you performed with us one of the years. Okay, great.
I did
And
last year.
back to
Last
her
year.
ensemble of
That's right.
places that she appeared, because I
Yes.
remember meeting her there, and it just, you look so regal sitting there with the harp and all of that.
Yeah,
So
that's
it
what
was
I
great.
remember.
It
That's
was,
what I
yes,
remember.
remember that? Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I
It was,
do.
you
Yeah.
remember, I remember now, you were there at that
Yeah,
time
yeah,
too. And she was
yeah.
wonderful. We got to have her back one of the years with us again. Maybe 2024. That'd be nice.
I'm putting
But
it in
yeah,
my
so
calendar, Star. Putting it in my
yes,
calendar.
we'll let you know the calendar time and everything. Um, that's why it's such a great pleasure having you join us here tonight.
Oh,
Yes.
All
thank
right.
you. Thank you.
So let's learn a little bit more about you and about your instrument of choice. Can you
Sure.
tell us a little bit about what brought you to this, to the harp?
To the harp? Sure.
Yeah.
So I played guitar since I was about 12 years old. I started on guitar, and I actually started guitar um, to impress a boy. It didn't work, but I played for a while and I liked it. You know, it was all right, but it didn't speak to me on a soul level. You know, I sort of did it as on the side, and I enjoyed it. I wrote some songs, and it got me into music. And then one day I was at a Renaissance festival, not with the boy, and and I saw this harpist, and it was love at first sight. Not with the harpist, but with the harp.
Right.
And I absolutely, I fell in love, and I just knew instantly I have to play that. That's my instrument. That's it.
Wow.
Oh,
And I
wow.
just knew. And she was, I don't remember her name. I don't remember much about her, but I do remember her kindness, because she saw how interested I was in this instrument, and she let me try it. She
Oh,
let me
wow.
sit down
Wow.
and just feel it and feel what it felt like. And it was just amazing. So shortly after that, I was in California at the time. And shortly after that, I moved back to New York, and I found a teacher, and I learned how to play it. And I practiced obsessively. I would practice for like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Wow.
And that was about 25 years ago. Yeah.
Mm,
So,
wow.
Amazing.
It's amazing how
Well,
that
you
one
can,
little thing could take you through life, right?
yes.
Yeah.
you never know what's going to spring up.
Yeah. So, how does the music play, or what part does it play in any magical pagan pathways that you see or that you've played at?
So, the harp has a really rich history in mythology, in many different pantheons. In Greek mythology, it was thought to have been invented by the god Apollo, and in Irish mythology, it was thought to be invented by a Celtic goddess, an Irish goddess, who was lulled to sleep by the sound of wind blowing through the sinews of a whale, of the remains of a whale.
Oh, wow.
And that's how the harp was invented. And then
Wow.
the harp is so woven throughout Celtic mythology / history. There's kind of a fine line between those two things. And the Dagda comes to mind. He was the leader of the Tuatha De Danann, the fairy folk, and he had a magical harp that would fly through the air and come to him when he summoned it.
Oh my goodness.
And he would, people who heard him play it would be enchanted by the 3 types of music that he would play. They would either laugh out of joy, cry from sorrow, or fall into a deep enchanted sleep if he played them lullabies. So he could use that. In fact, he won several battles by just putting everyone to sleep with his harp. So there's this magical history, and I mean, I could go on and on. I know we're limited on time, but there's in so many different countries and different timelines, you have the harp, and there's always this magical element to it. There's always some kind of mystery surrounding the harp. And even mainstream religions and biblical King David had a harp. And and so it just sort of, you find it everywhere you have spirituality, everywhere you have magic. The harp kind of pops up there. And the harpist, I feel, that you can really, magic to me is sort of comprised of mystery, intention, and connection. And to me, the harp is the perfect tool for those 3 elements. So the mystery comes in when I'm playing, and I can actually change somebody's perception, change somebody's emotion. Something shifts when they hear the music. And to me, that's a form of magic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just wanted to chime in and just let you know we have several people in the chat who are saying hello. Hillary is saying, my favorite harpist. Yay, Erika.
Hi, Hillary.
Yeah. And thank you all.
Dave is there. Hi,
joining.
Dave. Oh, so great.
So happy.
And
Thank you
Jay,
guys.
Jay is also a harpist. He's wonderful. He's one of my favorite people to jam with.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, some of the things you were just sharing about, some of the stories and I don't want to say just myth, but some of the stories that surround the harp. I wonder how that impacts your relationship to the music that you work with or the music that you compose.
Yeah,
Do any
yeah.
of those myth stories impact how you work with the music in any way?
Um, ma- Not directly, but I think in some way they do, because they're inspiration. You know, I think
Right.
that
There we go.
I've always been drawn to, especially Celtic mythology and Celtic culture, and um,
Mhm.
you know, it's always been an inspiration to me, and I think you can definitely hear it in my music and my compositions. It's a big part of my repertoire is from Ireland and Scotland and the British Isles. So, you know, it's a huge influence.
Awesome.
Fabulous.
That's awesome. You were speaking as Rhonda was reading out all the many places that you've or events that you've played at. I kind
Mhm.
of wanted to find out what are one of the highlight events that you got to participate in that made an impact
Oh,
in some way on you.
that's tough.
I know,
I,
right?
like every, you know, all of them. No. So yeah, I love playing out. I love playing, you know, for different audiences and just having that connection with audiences. It was very difficult to not do that during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So now, you know, it's great being back in front of people and connecting with people. I would say some of the highlights. I love playing at all the Renaissance fairs that I play. I'm going to be playing a lot of them this summer. I love playing the event in Salem on Halloween weekend.
Mhm.
It's called the Morning Tea, and
Oh,
it's at the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem. And Salem and
Beautiful.
around Halloween it's spectacular. It's
Yes.
amazing. I've never experienced anything quite like it. So that's a lot of fun. Um, and then you mentioned Bindlestiff Family Cirkus puts on this incredible Victorian circus in the middle of a cemetery in Brooklyn,
oh
uh,
wow.
called A Night at Niblo's Garden. And
Ah,
that's one of my favorite events to play. It's magnificent. It's a variety show, and everybody's dressed in Victorian garb, and you see all these amazing spectacles. There's lights all over the lake, and just there's dancers and acrobats and musicians and people on penny farthings riding
Oh my
around.
gosh.
And the audience can just come and lay out a picnic and have their dinner and just watch all the amazing acts. So
That
that's a lot of fun.
sounds fabulous. What time of year is that? And can people find
That's
that on your website or?
Yeah, that's in July.
Okay.
And I don't play it every year, but when I do, I definitely promote it
Yeah,
on my website and my social media. So
fabulous.
hopefully they'll have me back this summer. I don't know yet.
Find
We'll
out.
see.
In the meantime, can you share a bit of your music with us? Perform a little
Absolutely.
ditty. Thank you.
Absolutely. So this is a tune written by Turlock O'Carolan, and it's called Shebeg Shemor. It's a fairy summoning song.
Mm.
okay. wonderful. That's
That
so
is
wonderful.
beautiful.
Thank you. That was
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you so
All
much.
It just made me started thinking like what new releases or pieces that you've worked on that you have released recently that you can tell us about.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked. I'm actually just finishing up recording my new album, and it's a solo album with I also have some friends playing on it too, so that's been kind of fun. And it's primarily a Renaissance Fair CD, so it's all the favorites that I play at the Ren Fair, and it's called A Fine Fair Day.
Fabulous.
And that will be released this spring.
Oh,
so
nice.
hopefully, if all goes well, I'm
all going well.
putting the finishing touches on it now, and then sending it
How
off
it goes, right?
So
excellent. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And what about your next live performances? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I have a couple of exciting things coming up. I'm doing a concert with a composer named Christopher Cowett, and he writes this amazing epic fantasy music and does kind of an audio visual concert that you got to see it. It's just it's incredible, and I'm so excited to be a part of his team. So he has like video in the background, and then he has this epic fantasy music going on with live players on the stage, and I'll be one of them.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's coming up at Workshop 13 in Ware, Massachusetts on April 15th.
Okay. Fabulous. So that is coming up very soon.
That's coming up soon. And then I will be at the Robin Hood Medieval Fair, Robin Hood Medieval Fair in Harrington, Connecticut, starting May 20th and running through the first weekend of July. So every weekend.
You're busy, and people know they can find you at that Renaissance.
They can find me there. And if anyone has wants to see where else I'll be this summer, I'm playing out a lot and touring a lot. So they could always visit my website or any of my social media pages.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So where can people purchase your music?
They'll be able to purchase it at the Renaissance fairs that I'll be playing at in the spring. And then eventually I'll also have them on sale on my website. And I'm going to try to figure out how to distribute it on all these streaming channels
and all those things, right? Yeah.
Excellent.
That's a whole other thing. I'll deal with that.
That's excellent. At least they can get a CD right there at the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, exactly. Old school CD, brick and mortar.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not giving up that technology. I am not.
We still love it. We still love it.
Yes, we do.
Yep,
Thank you so much for joining us tonight,
Thank
Erika.
you guys so much.
What you create.
It was such
that
a
was
pleasure.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. It was so great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That's the next time we got to bring you back again because such beautiful music. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. We will say farewell for now, but everybody else hold on. We'll have just a word from our sponsor.
All right. All right, it's astrology time. I know you guys love this part. So tonight we kind of working on a two-part for you guys again, where tonight we're going to talk about the general effects of the Jupiter conjunct Chiron in Aries. And our next show, we're going to speak about how to find out how it's going to personally affect you and how you can help yourself. So we'll give you some tips in the next show. Okay. So for us, as usual, we already said how important March this year is, right? So March right now is one of the most potent months of 2023 due to all the rare and spectacular alignments that are set to unfold in it, and some of them have already started. We saw on March 7th, um, uh, we saw the Saturn entered Pisces. Also, this month kind of paves the way for the eclipse season coming up in April. But now the Jupiter has conjunct or will be conjuncting Chiron and Aries on March 12th. So this is why I'm saying March has a lot of things that's important that's going on. So with the Jupiter conjunct Chiron in Aries, it's a rare conjunction between Jupiter, Chiron, and Aries, since they only meet each other in Aries once every 50 years on an average. This conjunction is particularly important for people born with Chiron and Aries, but it will influence each one of us depending on the natal house that the transit is triggering. And what's even more unique about this astrological event is that, let's see, Venus will also conjunct Jupiter and Chiron, and Venus will make things personal, stirring up emotions, feelings of self-worth, and how we approach relationships. All of this collective cosmic energy is going to bring transformation, change, and evolution that hits us on a soul level. So for a lot of us, you're going to see kind of ricocheting and vibrating through our entire being. It is a big purge moment where we release the old and welcome the new. And through all of these new cycles that are unfolding, March also delivers a powerful healing portal, thanks to that alignment of Jupiter and Chiron and Aries. So let's start with how it begins to affect. Jupiter conjunct Chiron is an astrological event where Jupiter and the planetoid Chiron will align at 14 degrees of the zodiac sign Aries on March 12th. This means the energies will be combined, creating a powerful personal growth and healing time. When Jupiter and Chiron will cross paths in Mars-ruled fire sign of Aries, the two planets will be in range from January through May of this year. Between Jupiter's 12th year cycle and Chiron's oblong orbit, these two planets make a conjunction which occurs approximately every 14 to 19 years. So the fact that Jupiter and Chiron even happens, first of all, in Aries, it's every 50 years, but in Jupiter and Chiron, it's every 14 to 19 years. This alignment has different intensity levels, with the most potent effects happening at the exact moment of the conjunction, but the effects can still be felt within a range of time. The first range is called the orb and is a 3-degree orb, which means that the effects can be felt from February 23rd to March 29th. And the second range is called at the 8-degree orb, meaning the effects can be felt from January 22nd to April 25th. So it gives you the different degrees that it's going to affect you. Imagine, for instance, a powerful and benevolent ruler, Jupiter, joining forces with a wise and experienced healer, Chiron, and Jupiter being that planet associated with good luck, growth, and expansion, while Chiron is a small planet or asteroid associated with healing and personal growth.
Personal growth. Right,
Okay?
right.
Go with it.
So then you think of the conjunction as a powerful beam of light shining on your life and illuminating the areas that need attention and growth. The orb is like the beam of light getting broader and less intense, but still illuminating your path. And the 8-degree orb is like a flash in the background, hinting that something big is coming. The archetypes. Let's look at the archetypes of Jupiter, Chiron, and Aries. So there's a lot of info here, and I hope you guys are, hopefully you're taking some notes, but if not, here we go. Jupiter brings expansion, luck, prosperity, growth, leaps of faith, dissemination, new horizons, and clear perspectives. It can also bring excess, greed, and outsized expectations. Chiron exemplifies the wounded healer and surfaces core wounds, chronic pain, fear, unfairness, vulnerability, sensitivity, and hostility, while also offering the opportunity to heal those old wounds or support healing for others. Aries is assertion, energy, instinct, beginnings, a pioneer, a warrior, and courage. So the possibilities of this Jupiter Chiron conjunction, let's look at some of that. What's possible in this period? So Chiron in Aries is about learning courage by facing fears. Sometimes the thing you're most repulsed by has a gift for you. So it's by turning around to look at the monster in your dreams that you realize you can stop running away, that the battle's been won just by your willingness to take a risk. So this is a risk-taking time. This wholehearted faith is lifted even more with Jupiter's influence. Jupiter brings prosperity and luck to the equation. It also distributes the masses. Um, the battle's been won just by your willingness, again, to take the risk. On a collective level, this conjunction could mark a new cure or form of therapy, or one that's newly available to the public. Again, we're talking about healing, right? A new therapy that's available to the public due to cost efficiencies or generosity. There could also be a surfacing of societal or ancestral wounds. Excellent work. And remember that when this happens, it's an opportunity to heal something that's been dormant. Jupiter in Aries also has the potential to be selfish and greedy. Think toilet paper hoarders. The choice of wealth is always whether to commit it to a greater good or further isolate oneself. So, yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
over.
And I am going to continue with Jupiter and Chiron conjunctions in history so you can kind of get an idea of what the theme is. Now, don't forget, a lot of this is simply giving you not an exact science of what's going to happen, but the themes of what happens. Okay. So, with a little bit of history, you could kind of get an idea of what the themes would be. So, the last time of the transit was in 2009. And because of the retrogrades, the two planets crossed paths 3 times in Aquarius. Aquarius is that sign of um, uh, humanitarianism, networks, groups, and technology. It's also worth mentioning that the position of this conjunction in the zodiac sign is also important, as each zodiac sign has its unique characteristics and energies. The last conjunction was, again, that we said in Aquarius, which is associated with innovation, progress, and community. So this time around, the conjunction is taking place in Aries, which is associated with new beginnings, self assertion, and taking action. My advice here is to kind of reflect on what was happening in your life 14 years ago. During that last Jupiter conjunction Chiron in 2009, see how you've grown, changed, and maybe evolved since then. Think of it as a great time to set new intentions and goals for yourself for the next 14 years, because again, it's going to come back around again, right? So see what you can set for yourself now. So going back to the history of this conjunct, starting in April of the 2009, the swine flu pandemic spread around the world. Remember that? I know we kind of forgot, right? There's so many things that comes at us, we forget, but it did happen. And in 2009, there was also a precursor to the 2010 Affordable Care Act, which was introduced in the US House of Representatives, part of a push to make healthcare more widely available with less of a financial burden, especially for those with chronic conditions. I think it was called, what was it? They kept saying it was pre something conditions. I forgot. I always forget the name.
Pre-existing conditions.
Pre-existing conditions. So a lot of that was the fight about, well, we might not be able to take on the ones with pre-existing conditions. Thank the goddess that it did not happen that way and that they went on, because there are many of us with chronic conditions and we're glad to have it,
Yes.
Without it, we would not be able to function too well. But those both of those examples kind of play on the Aquarian themes group, on the membership on one end and on the virality on it on the other end. So astrology, again, like I said, gives us themes, not specific outcomes. And as both individuals and in society, we have free will to influence how the archetypes, might play out. The trick with Chiron involved is to look for ways pain can help us learn compassion or find healing. Again, he's the wounded healer. So always keep that and bear that in mind. The solution is embedded within the problem. The crack is where the light comes in. since we know that Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance, and Chiron is the asteroid known as that wounded healer. As they come together for the first time in 14 years this month, a powerful portal will be unlocked, helping us to deliver a potent healing energy to the deepest corners of our mind, body, and souls, almost on the miracle side. You're literally going to be able to heal things that they thought were impossible. So kind of work this month, beginning now, on things that you can find impossible or you would not be able to get over, or like how I'm dealing with chronic illnesses of chronic pain and things like that. And again, I'm like, okay, Chiron, you're the wounded healer. I'm going to give you that try. So I'm going to work with that to try to help myself, and anybody who's going through that. Think of it that way. This is your time and your effort. Even though you may say it's impossible to heal whatever it is, give it a try. This is that expansion time. Jupiter, right? Chiron, Aries, all the things are in place for you to give, and it's opened up that portal of that temporary time of great healing miracles. So we, for mind, body, soul, we're talking about mental illnesses, the soul. Sometimes things happen to us so much in life that it literally rips your soul apart, and you don't even know if you could recover from it, physically, mentally, whatever it is. This will help you get there. So I want you guys to get working on it, people.
Excellent. Excellent. So let's look at Jupiter and Chiron in Aries again. It's coming together in this fiery sign of Aries, which guides us to appreciate that wounds are part of life and perhaps even part of our destiny. Aries energy is fiery, independent, courageous, entrepreneurial, and daring. It is natural that this adventurous spirit would encounter wounds, mistakes, and hardships. For a life well lived, it comes with the territory. We can't feel grief if we haven't felt love. We cannot feel sad if we don't know what true joy feels like. And we cannot succeed if we don't make mistakes. So Chiron and Aries reminds us that through our wounds, we learn, we grow, we mature, and we step into a fuller version of ourselves. Some wounds may debilitate us, but in time, it is these wounds that tend to make us whole again. Maybe not in the way we were before, but in a more awakened way. Maybe in a way that makes us more of who we need to be. Jupiter has the gift of expanding whatever it touches. It is known as the planet of abundance, and its presence can magnify things that need our attention. Jupiter gets us focusing on the bigger picture rather than getting bogged down in the nitty-gritty. So as Jupiter travels through Aries, it has been magnifying some of our dreams and wishes, magnifying where we need more courage, and magnifying our soul's purpose. As Jupiter and Chiron come together in this fire sign, we may feel exposed. We may feel wounds rise to the surface to be observed, listened to, or surrendered to. Don't forget that this healing portal is very powerful and may require some work on our part to sit, to be, and to uncover. So, with the rise of digital communication, many people with chronic health conditions have found communities online. Through history, organizations like Alcoholics Anonymous have helped people find support from those who, understand what they're going through. During the Jupiter Chiron conjunction, you may want to break out of your comfort zone and take on new challenges or adventures. You may also be more open to learning and self improvement. You may be willing to seek out new opportunities for personal growth and development. At the same time, the Jupiter Chiron 2023 conjunction can also bring up issues related to your sense of identity and self worth. You may question your beliefs, values, and goals, and strongly need to explore your inner wounds and challenges. This conjunction can be a time of tremendous personal growth and transformation as you work to heal and overcome any lingering emotional or psychological issues that may be holding you back. So finally, all Chiron transits come with an opportunity to heal deep-rooted wounds and find wholeness. These transits usually come with a so-called healing crisis, which means that initially we can experience a worsening of symptoms, darker before dawn kind of thing. You know that saying, it only gets worse before it gets better. So it's the same thing. Old wounds will resurface and we will again be reminded of painful experiences we haven't fully processed in the past. This acknowledgement of the wound is a normal part of the healing process. Chiron asks us to pay attention to those parts of us we have neglected or hid away because we thought that they were somehow unacceptable. I would deal with these things if I were you, if it will make you face them front and center. So basically, be courageous and step into it, right? It will also help us connect the dots and see what's the bigger picture behind those wounds, revealing the crucial role they have served to our growth and development. With Jupiter and Chiron in Aries, we can heal identity wounds, restore courage and strength, and trust our intuition and instincts. There's no better time to simply just be yourself.
There you go. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And
A
next
lot.
Friday, and next Friday's show, we would kind of delve a little bit further into how Jupiter conjunct Chiron and Aries, how it will personally affect each of you. So let's check on it with the next let's continue with it with the tarot and see what we can pull and for the Jupiter conjunct. Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Yay.
All right.
So
I've got my trusty Witch's Tarot deck.
I have the modern Witch's Tarot deck. Oh, let's do it.
Oh my
this
goodness!
way.
Oh, she is so cute. That deck is so cute. I actually have that deck. I gotta look at it sometime.
I love this deck. It's the cards are a little thick. They're more like oracle card size, so I can't do a regular riffle. But
okay.
Let's see. Oh, yet again, we have jumpers. I just love that. And what did we get? Two of Cups. Two of Cups. That exchange. I love this. This is yet again one of those weeks where we're having a conjunction with this Jupiter and Chiron, and they're giving and exchanging with each other, drawing close and giving their energy one to the other, which we can see here in the Two of Cups as well. But what I love about this energy here is the notion of the energy of the element of water and the waters that do healing waters. And this is the time where we have to dig in deep, look into our heart, and take the time to do the healing. And sometimes that is not just an exchange. We see this card as the mini lovers card. It's the two people exchanging hearts in the real world. And the lovers is about the relationships, the lovers in the major arcana, the relationships and primary relationship with ourselves. This I see as us coming to ourselves to give ourselves our heart and give ourselves that healing and nurturing. So perfect time for that card to pop up.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I have two, but there they are. And it is what it is. Kind of one jumped and one I pulled, and I'm like, okay, all at the same time. But it is what it is with the jumpers. We always seem to have jumpers in this.
Exactly.
Okay, I have two. The 10 of Pentacles. And if you take a look at it, let me see, my light might shine out so if you guys can see it properly. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
And look at everything around it, from the animals to the it seems like the male nurturing the child, and then the couple nurturing themselves, all of it all at once. And of course, 10 of Pentacles, meaning the expansion of money. Jupiter plays highly in this. But it's a stability, it's a nurturing and comfort. It's like everybody kind of coming together and forming that familial bond. And it does not have anything to do with whether they are related by blood. Don't forget that family can be anyone that you have in your circle that you consider your family, that is there for you in that supportive manner. And that's what I'm seeing. Like it's a even different races or different genders or whatever they are, they're all here to kind of play a part and say, we form this family, we form this nurturing bond of comfort and support. And to me, all of it suggests healing and nurturing and going on with that support with it. Usually with the 10 of Pentacles, I get a different reading with it. But what I'm getting with it is that so much all about that comfort and nurturing and that healing, from the very young to the very old.
Yeah.
And it has no age requirement or anything like that. Don't leave anyone behind. You know that thing they talk about, no one left behind?
Yes.
Military code, right? No one left behind.
Exactly.
In this one, with the Chiron conjunct and all of that, it's no one left behind. Whomever you know that needs that helping of healing, whether it's yourself or whatever it is, work on it. This is that beginning month of that powerful time. You don't get that good very often, astrologically speaking. It opened up that portal, and I think we should use it for what it is. And the second one is the Four of Cups. And look at the couple and the nurturing and the water, all of there.
Yes.
And all the offerings and everything. And again, they're not, I kind of think that they're looking like if they're contemplative. They're not sad. They're not happy. It's just, and they just are. And it's because they're not speaking or anything. They're just supporting one another without saying a word.
That's excellent. I love the fact that these cards came out in this way. And I can completely understand that 10 of Pentacles and how you're reading that. Everyone is to the story.
From very young to very old. And they're just like, they're all there for one another. And that's what that's all that we're asking for beyond that, and seeing things for what they are.
Absolutely.
It's kind of cool.
One thing I do want to mention about this card that I didn't mention before is below that you see the caduceus?
Yes. Oh my gosh, look at that.
It's all about healing. It's the Two of Cups. Yeah, it's all about healing.
Yes, I see it now. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's great. So yeah, this is a period of healing ourselves and healing each other. So that's
work on some spell work for healing, people.
Yes, absolutely.
Put it out there to the world. Actually, when you think about it, not just people. And then we kept saying, don't leave anyone behind.
Right.
The animals, the plants, the planet.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. All that healing that's needed, everything. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. So let's utilize it and work with that portal that is being generously given to us.
Yes.
Kind of once in the blue moon kind of a thing. So let's work with it.
Absolutely.
All right.
We have a lot. So before we leave you all tonight, we want to just share with you our next two shows. Our next show on March 17th, we have the amazing Phoenix Coffin Williams with us.
Yes.
And that will be on March 17th, next Friday.
Right.
And right behind him, on March 31st, we will have Christopher Penczak. So we wanted to announce both of those shows to you all. I'm going to share with you a couple of our spots. So please join us next week and the week after. We'll be back at 10 o'clock.
And more to come. Yes.
More to come.
All right.
All right. Hold on 1 second.
All righty.